Hello, everybody. Welcome to GVO After Dark. I am your host, GVO Golem. It's Thursday. It's the last Thursday of the month. So basically, we come up here and we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. And I'm not about to do this thing alone. So let's bring up my co-hosts, Dave.
Hey, guys.
And Mark.
Oh, you invited him again? Just joking.
How are you guys on this Thursday of Thursdays? That was a real question.
I think Mark's muted.
Last month it was me.
There we go. Wow, amateur hour.
I'm feeling excellent.
It's my first day.
I haven't done this all month.
I teach online too, and every once in a while the students are like, "Sir, we can't hear you."
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's about that time of the night. So basically, tonight we've got news about Greyhound. We got some new announcements from BLI, Athearn, Bowser, and Rapido. And we've got some new stuff in store from Rapido, Walthers, and Bowser. We're going to do a GVO Q&A a little bit later. So if you guys have questions for me or the guys, put those in your pocket. And we're going to wait till a little bit later. But as long as it's train related, you can ask us literally anything. And we'll do our best to help you out.
Don't
Along with
ask me any
that, no hard ones for Dave.
Yeah.
Now they're going to ask you the really hard ones. So we're going to direct all really hard ones at Dave now. Just saying. Just on purpose. So we're going to see who we have in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Dwight, nice to see you. Steve, Bubs, Dennis, K-Town, Justin. Hope everybody's having themselves a wonderful Thursday. Bright and sunny out there, but it was still kind of cold. Got to be honest.
It was chilly today. It was nice,
Right.
though. It was nice.
It was sunny. Yeah.
As long as it's not humid or snowing. That's basically what I go off.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the news tonight. I'm sure most of you heard back the middle of May, Greyhound actually shut its doors. So it's basically after 92 years of service running coach buses all over North America, Greyhound Canada shut down. Effective May 13th, 2021 at midnight, Greyhound made the difficult decision to discontinue all remaining operations in Ontario and Quebec. Now that means that they're still running in the States. It's just Greyhound Canada will no longer be active, I guess. This comes at no surprise as ridership dropped over 2020 and 2021 for sure. And it was basically, as of May last year, riding the bus was down 95%, which basically they took a huge hit. But since then, a bus company has since stepped up to offer service in Ottawa just a day after Greyhound closed its doors for good. Megabus.com announced Friday that it will add Ottawa to its existing service with stops in Kingston, Scarborough, and Toronto. Megabus operates out of Saint Laurent station with service running 4 days a week.
Cool.
So when one door closes, right?
Well, that's nice because eventually this is going to end and people are going to want to go back to riding the bus, right?
It's true.
So at least now they still have an alternative.
I remember there's been a few times that I've taken the Greyhound from Toronto to Ottawa and vice versa as well. So it's sad to see it go. Will I ever need it again? Probably not because I have a car now, but it is what it is.
Well, when I heard they're going to close the Ottawa bus station, I wasn't sure where people would go to the bathroom because that's like, you know.
Is that the one at Kent and something?
Kent and Catherine. That place smelled like a bathroom. I'm just not sure where people are going to go to the bathroom now.
It's odd because even the Ontario Northland bus stops there, and then they head out to Renfrew. Well, I don't know if it stops in Renfrew, but it passes Renfrew. Do you know if it stops in Renfrew?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Oh, okay. And then it goes out to Petawawa, and then North Bay eventually. But yeah, if they close it down, then I'm not sure where they'll relocate to. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't step up, because they used to go from Toronto to North Bay. So having kind of rerouting it all over the place might be beneficial to them as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Have you guys bought anything new recently? Any new models? I was kind of talking with Dave about this before Mark showed up, but there hasn't been a whole lot that has showed up or dropped in the past month or two.
Yeah,
seems like the year's off to a slow start.
There's been a drought.
A little bit, except for those Via buses. They were nice.
And my wallet's happy. My bank account's rejoicing right now. Nice little break.
Mine's not. I just switched to car stuff. Although I do want to make a purchase at some point soon from OVR. I've got a couple things lined up. And by a couple thing, I mean like one. But, I want to get, it's like the harbor wall, that metal stuff. I don't know other than what to call it other than the harbor wall. I think Woodland Scenics or Walthers make it. And some ground cover, because like I mentioned to you guys before we started going live, I want to look at getting some plaster cloth down, paint it brown, and then get some ground cover going. So
you're feeling very confident then that operations are working out smoothly for you, and now it's time to cover up?
Yeah. My layout is I don't want to say it out loud and jinx it, but it's been excellent. And the only problems I've had were coupler based, and I still have the odd one because I'm slowly swapping all the Atherin couplers, but no derails, no I've got the current keepers, but electricity is great. I do still need to find a way to clean my track underneath. I'm still looking at options. I can't nail down what's going to be compatible with the 15-inch radius curves, but but yeah, I figure might as well start taking the dive.
Right on.
Cool.
Well, in the spirit of things not really showing up in stores, I've got a bunch of announcements. Broadway Limited actually announced some new SD40-2s. They're complete with Paragon 4 sound. They're expected in July, so save your pennies. You got a couple of months. And they retail for about $330 for a sound locomotive. You can get SF, BC Rail, BNSF, CNW, CSX, Illinois Central, Ontario Northland, and there's a bunch more, but I just named the fun ones. Those are all HO scale, by the way.
They look good. I'm just looking at them right now, actually. It's funny because we had that discussion about like SD40-2 is like, I would say probably one of the most done locomotives by the companies, right? Like we kind of had that discussion. But they definitely look good, and it's nice that they've got like OVR in there too, because I know you'll be looking at them then.
Well, the funny thing is that the two numbers that they did for the ONR in the Aero scheme, Bowser already did one of them. So I've got that. I should have it here, but I don't. It's in my display case. But it was done for the North Bay Railroad Museum. And they commissioned Bowser to do the 1733 in the Aero scheme, which literally no other company has done. And then they also added, BLMI is doing the 1733, even though it's already been done. Don't know why they're doing it. And then 1734, which was just recently painted in the Aero scheme as well. I have that one in the ON rail scheme, so I don't even think I'm going to get them. To be honest with you,
I was just going to say that makes it tough for people. at least in this case. And I'm sure there are many different examples of this, but you know, if you've already got one locomotive and a different company comes out with the same locomotive in the same road number, do you sell the one you have, you know, and buy these two matching ones that run great together and look similar and have like look the same and have the same detail, or you know, do you renumber the one you have maybe and still splurge, or do you just not, like you suggested, and just kind of hold off? It's tough, right? I don't know why. Obviously, in some cases, the road numbers are limited, but you'd think that they might try to.
I think for me,
it out.
It depends on the companies that are making it. Like, would I choose a Bowser over Broadway Limited? There's a really good chance that I'm going to take the Bowser, right?
Yeah.
You know, we have that thing. We have that thing with Bowser, right? But, you know, even if it means waiting for them to do another run, because if there's one thing that Bowser is known for, it's their SD40s and the SD42Fs, and you know, there's a bunch of others. But anyways, because as soon as they come out with they just released a few of the SD40s. We're waiting on another shipment of SD40s that should be in a couple of months. I think they're being shipped over now, and you get your CP Expressway, which I know that Bubs is waiting for. I think he's getting a couple of those. But after that, then who knows? They might do more SD40s, and hopefully, like, there's a Heritage ONR, and there's other numbers as well that I'm sure they missed. But I'd probably wait and hold out for more Bowsers at that point.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bowser, because Bowser actually, they've been doing these ballast cars, and they're, you know, I don't think that they're completely accurate, but there's not a lot of other companies who do ballast cars. But they kind of did a half announcement where they are doing the Ontario Northland ones. It just hasn't gone totally public yet. Like, it's not on their website yet, but it will within the next month or so. But a lot of companies are already taking pre-orders, which you're looking at about an MSRP of about $36 each. And a lot of places are just doing 3 numbers, but there's some shops that are offering a bonus 3 road numbers. So you can get a total of 6, which it'll get you off to a good start for a short ballast train, you know. Nothing too excessive. And if you're an ONR fan, why not, right? So, and also Rapido. I know you guys seen this. The 1980 Chevrolet Caprice and Impalas. How I mean, like, Mark, you do like a 1980s kind of layout. How do you feel about the Impala?
I might get a few just because they're cool and different. I still prefer like real modern vehicles, but I mean, my layout doesn't really have an exact era. It's more modern, but I do run stuff from the 80s and 90s, so it's not really consistent. But the cars do look cool, and of course those are Rapido, so you know the detail is going to be on par.
Do they have lights or anything?
That's the thing. I didn't see any announcement about there being lights or a light kit like with the buses.
Yeah.
So that's kind of disappointing, and especially at $30 a car.
Yeah.
Good vehicles are expensive. Good vehicles are very expensive.
It's true.
It's crazy.
But yeah, you've got like a whole slew of different body types. So you can either get the wagon or the sedan, and each of them, depending on the car, there's different rims. They have a realistic chrome finish to the bumpers and detail parts. And as for all the colors, you can get like a dark red, green, blue, yellow, baby blue, brown. There's a taxi yellow. There's also police cars in the white Metro, the blue, the black police car. It's like a black and white. The fire chief, which I believe is red. Then there's Amtrak police, CN police, which, I mean, that might be a decent choice for the layout, just saying. or even CN maintenance, which is also might be a really good choice as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem really nice. They look cool, I guess. I guess you could say the extent of it. But yeah, no, I was definitely thrown off by that one. They always seem to throw us for a loop, or they throw us off with whenever they make an announcement, right? You think it's going to be something, and then it's something totally different. So
yeah,
they announced a couple of other things, but I wasn't really impressed with anything else that was mentioned. So I'm just like, whatever. But Athearn did announce GP40-2s. The GP40 is probably one of my favorite locomotives. And these ones are the CN Zebras. I think you have one, Mark. Yeah, I think you have a CN. I don't know if it's a Zebra. I think it's the North American scheme.
I think so.
It has the 3 fans on the top.
I'm the worst. My wife was shopping online at OVR, and she's like, "Do you have this one?" I was like, "This one?"
It must be so hard for you guys to keep track of all of your locomotives. Good thing I only have 4.
Okay, fine. We put it that way.
I have a PDF.
I keep an Excel spreadsheet.
It's the in case I die PDF. So, there's the prices I can show her now, but then there's the real one. In case there's an accident and you have to resell the stuff, this is the actual price.
Is there a column where it says, leave the following to Mark? No?
No. I thought if I go, then you would try to avenge me, or you would probably die of grief. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
Wait a minute. What am I going to do with both of your guys' stuff?
Also die of grief?
I'm like, Steph, Chris told me that he wants all his stuff in my care so I can run out my layout once a week to show the public and keep the name alive.
Yeah.
You might, I'm not even lying, you might have to fight my son. Because he's already told me, he said, Dad, when you die, I get your stuff, right? And coming from an 8-year-old, it's kind of morbid, but
yeah, no kidding.
This is my
offspring. How often do you talk about this?
It comes up daily. He's just wondering what he can exchange in for money and then go buy himself, video games, right? So kids. But so there is a couple of new things that did show up in store for our N scalers, because I know that they do exist. The Rapido Canadian set, and it's a complete passenger set. So
nice.
There was 2 10-car sets, so an A and a B set, and then there was a 3-car add-on set and a dome car. Each car individually is probably about $60. So you're paying that as far as, with 10 cars, it's $590. For a 3-car set, it's $185. And then you've got options like CP Maroon, CP Action Red, Via Rail in the original, and then Via Rail in the Canadian scheme. Now, there has already been a couple of reviews on them, and I want you guys to check this specific review out, because I thought it was the most realistic as far as reviews go. So check out Southern Alberta Rail. And when you check him out on YouTube or whatever, he has a review on the Canadian. Now, is his review of the Canadian set a glowing review? Probably not. However, the thing that I like the most is that he took the issues that were with the cars, and not only did he give you one fix, but he gave you 3 fixes to be able to make your cars run better. And it's justified because of the fact that this is a hobby, it's a model, and not everything is perfect. And that was so honestly respectable from another modeler standpoint, that you're going to have good models, you're going to have great models, and then there's going to be models that at the end of the day, if they don't work on your layout, sometimes you have to tweak them, sometimes you have to make them run better. So totally respect his review. So go check that out. That's Southern Alberta Rail. After the show. And if either of you have a link for his channel, I totally forgot, but feel free to throw it in the chat at some point there.
I don't know, he's N-scale, that guy.
Yes. Oh, and his layout is awesome too.
I know, I've seen it.
You've seen, yes. So you already know. But yeah, it was a great review.
I just linked his channel.
But also, Walther's Proto GP9 it's an EMD GP. Blah, 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 blah. Wow. Walther's Proto EMD GP9 high nose locomotives are hitting stores now. GT, CP, N&W, Penn Central, Sioux Line, and UP. Now, because it's part of the Proto line, you're not going to pay that $200 for DCC sound price point that I've been paying. These will be a 308 Canadian for ESU block sound and 209 for a DC model. Still great though. I've always loved Walthers. They're excellent runners, excellent couplers. So can't go wrong. And these ones have a bit more detail to them. So also a couple of months ago, and we can kind of chat about this because I had mentioned that Pico is releasing a new kind of switch. So we've always had electro frogs and
insult frogs. It's okay, Chris. I got you. Got you.
Wow. Thanks, fam. So insult frogs and electro frogs. Now they've got unifrogs. It does the job of both. It comes just as you see it here, right? This is a number 6. That's all they got right now. 6 left and 6 right. And there's actually a wire. I cut it off because I don't need it. But there's a wire and it comes up from the frog and you just wire to it to power the frog. I didn't need to because all of mine are Walther switch machines. Now, when I take the elastic out, I don't know if it's this one or if they're all like this, but in all the old ones, right, you've got your spring, well, like this, like a spring. So when you take the spring out, it's kind of loose, right? This one here, it actually centers itself. I took the spring out and it is already centered so that I can just put the machine up in it and it doesn't need to move or whatever. And also, one thing with the older switches, because I've got like a number 8 here, and they have a spot here where the ties are not super close together and there's nothing covering it. So you can add your own wire. I don't know if you can. There you go. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, there's nothing there, but you can gap the rails. That's what Dave was doing for a while there.
Yeah, I customly make jumpers, and that way you only need one source for your like jumpers or feeder wires. Sorry, and it can be at any one of the 3 kind of sides, and it powers all of the track from that. So that's really great. I was mentioning earlier how much I love that. I wish they would have came out with Code 100s, but something that is also really nice, and which is probably why it centers itself, is because the point rails are one solid rail, right, Chris?
Yep.
You don't have that hinge or that split where it's coming off the frog and there's the hinge and then it goes to the point. It's one solid rail. They're not the first one to do those, but it makes it a lot smoother, a lot less prone to derailing, and you've got the kind of added benefit of the natural springiness, which is cool. I like that.
And of course, like it comes pre-wired from outside to inside rail as well. It's kind of hidden in the tie, but if you have one, you can see it up close.
Yeah, that's so nice. Like when we had the discussion a couple months ago about the switches and stuff, we a lot of people in chat, and we kind of agreed that it would be nice to have a switch just work out of the box, You don't need to do anything. It just works. And I mean, this is pretty close. You know, if you want to wire the frog, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Either way, it's ready to go. And I love that. And Pico's just done a great job with that, I think.
I was very hesitant at first about it. I don't like change. I got to be honest with you. I'm not a big change guy, but
Just bills, eh?
I know, but it's it's one of those things. So, what are you doing?
Is that still a thing? Want to show my age?
I couldn't help myself.
But yeah, no. Even James is asking if I power my frog. No, I don't. I haven't had any issues, so I don't really bother. And I don't have any like critters or small, runners. They're all 4 or 6 axle. So
yeah, I think trackmobiles and small like what's 040 like steam, you'd probably run into some issues, but anything bigger, you're probably good.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I wanted to mention, besides the switches, do we have any questions about the switches while we're?
Well, what happens if you don't cut that wire off?
It bunches under the switch. I don't know.
I wonder if it would it easily connect to one of the rails, one of the other jumpers. I wonder if it would short out. That might be a small issue.
The bottom seems fairly like covered, right? And
oh yeah,
it still has the 2 rails in there that are the connection between the outside and the inside, and then the outside of the inside of the other track, and it's all in the tie. But yeah, there's a good chance that there could be rubbing there from the extra wire, because they give you about like 3 inches, and it's all coiled on the underside. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I snipped it and I tucked it under the tie because there's like a little pinching thing there. So I just tuck it in, and then it's good to go on the layout, whenever that'll be. But yeah, another thing that I picked up this month. I know it's odd, right? So I bought a book.
Wait, you can read?
Well, this one's in it and pictures. So naturally, the pictures got me first, then the words. So this is a model railroader, because I went looking for a model railroader magazine just to see if there was a new one in, and I didn't. The cover of the other one didn't really catch my eye, and then there was a couple of other ones, and this one I was like blown away because it's all industries. So it was about $18, and basically it focuses on a lot of the major industries that we model. And there's a paper mill, steel mill, ethanol, and then there's a few others. It shows you how to build a custom ramp, custom house, feed mill. I'm not going to give it all away, but I'll show you a couple. And it also talks about different cars that you would use and gives you a layout. And I'll just kind of show you. This one's for ethanol. Shows you the kind of tank cars and whatnot, and then it even shows you how the buildings could be laid out with the tracks and whatnot.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I thought it was very informative, and I just felt like I wanted to share it with you guys. Because this might be something that a lot of you might actually find helpful. So it's the Best of Industries. Check your...
If I had room, yeah, that'd be great.
And the what?
If I had room for industries.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel you there.
Either way. But yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. But yeah.
So Chris, serious question. How disappointed were you when you found out that when you scratched the pictures, you couldn't sniff them?
not gonna lie, pretty upset.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No scratch and sniff, eh?
How long is it going to take you to get through it when your son reads you that for a bedtime story?
Stroking his beard. Go to sleep, Daddy. Go to sleep.
It is past my bedtime, isn't it?
Read me that ethanol one again, son. That ethanol one. That really puts me to sleep.
No, you read that one yesterday.
Yeah, Dad, it's been a week.
Well, still, I like it.
No, it's very cool.
Yeah, no, I like that.
And
call me old school, but I'll take a book over internet any day.
Yeah, sometimes, like, depending on what it is and what you're trying to do. For example, you guys are aware of my wiring fiasco. No book could ever teach me that. But two channels on YouTube definitely taught me how to do that.
To be fair, you tried to get around that and just text us pictures.
Hey, when you know the author, you know, why read the book? Just to be like, hey.
You're like, Dave, I can't find it out of your like 200 videos, and I'm like, you mean in the how-to playlist with like the 8 videos, one said power and LEDs, exactly what you're looking for?
Hey, you know how I used to do book reports? I would read the back of the book and do my book report based off the back of the book. That's just to get. Mark is cringing right now because he's the teacher. He's like, no, fail.
I totally get it. Like I said before, I've been watching YouTube videos for the last 5-6 years, and I come to do a project in my life. I'm like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Wiring to me is ridiculous. I can wire a basic layout, right? I can make a train move, but for something like what I was doing, which I can kind of show you because it is done now. So for my yard, just to kind of let everybody know, I've got a yard up here. There's 7 tracks, and I don't want power going to all of them all the time. So I had to wire it with my switches down here because there's no fascia in front of that because it's a giant helix. So I put all my switches here with LEDs, and as of today at like 4 o'clock, you'll be happy to know that. Oh,
there we go.
And they're blue and they're awesome and they work. I tested all of them.
Very awesome. That's great.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That was a lot.
Do they have resistors? Do all lights have resistors on them?
They all have resistors, and I'm not even going to begin to show the wiring here, but I basically have it running all the way down to that end, and it snakes up because this is obviously bottom level, this is middle level, so they come up, and then it was
fun stuff.
Cringe, but it was. I'm happy that that's done because now I can scenic that entire area. I can get that all done. So
that's great.
Yes, another milestone. Dave, you were talking about doing all the weaving and the plaster cloth. What's the ETA on that, man?
Wow, I told you not to ask me hard questions, Chris. Come on, man. I don't know.
What's the meaning of life, Dave?
I'm gonna be honest. My motivation has not been there for the layout. I usually only work on it on Thursdays while I watch you guys or listen to you guys, and I'll try to pop in and get some stuff done on a Saturday morning, but I just with the weather nice and we're just trying to get a bunch of stuff done with the house, and I'm kind of at the point where like you mentioned, reading the magazine or watching a video on how-tos, like I watch it or I'll read through it and I'll be like, okay, I know what I have to do, I know all the steps, and then you get started and you're like, mine doesn't look like theirs does, like what do I do? And then everything goes out the window. And you're just like, I'm just gonna start doing stuff, and then you're just like, it's good enough. So I just have to like at some point. I made those ramps on my last live stream. So I got to cut the cork out for that whole area because I'm just gonna raise the whole area because there's gonna be a couple industries in there, and that way everything's raised up. And then I'm probably gonna get back to the weave. But I don't know. I'm really intimidated by the plaster cloth. I really, because it's so like I got to make sure everything's like perfect, especially because I want to cover that area where the tunnel portal is. And once it's covered, I can't get down there. And so I'm really like I gotta make sure my plan is like good and I don't forget anything, because once it's covered, well, unless I make it like removable.
There's
thing,
a
right?
really good video out there. It's a couple years old now, but there's a really good video where this guy he made a tunnel with a hatch, an access panel.
What a clown!
Yeah, I don't think he knew what he was talking about.
He didn't, but it worked out really well.
You know what's
It worked
funny?
out really, really well.
That exact video showed up on my, hey, you watch this. Do you think you should like this instead? and it was that video. I was like, whoa. We were like talking about like your older videos. It's like it can hear me. And I was like, I'm going to watch it. And you have like so many views on that too. Like,
that's my most popular video. It's crazy.
But
crazy.
Yeah, that video's nuts. So
I'm going to watch it, and then I'm going to put the first piece of cloth on mine, and then I'm going to text you and be like, I screwed it up. What do I do now?
Have you considered shaper sheet?
Did you just make that up?
No, that's a real thing.
Should I look that up? Is that safe to Google? How do you even spell that? Are you sure you didn't just make that up? I've never heard of that. What is that?
No, honestly, it's a real thing. If you think about it like this, it's like there's sticky stuff, there's wool or something, and then there's like tin foil on top of that. And what you do is you crinkle up the tin foil, right? And that's what keeps its shape. Then you peel back the stuff, and then you attach the sticky part, and it holds, right? So let's say you do that along the edging, and then you can attach another shaper sheet to that by using the sticky end, right? So then once that's all like formed in whatever way, you pour some of this plaster, or you use the plaster brush on there. The whole thing hardens in whatever shape. It's a real thing. I didn't make it up. I've seen a video. It's Woodland Scenics makes it. They make good stuff. I trust them.
I took a screenshot of Dave's
Sure.
face. I took a screenshot of Dave's face. It's going to be a meme. The puzzle looked like. What?
Is that real?
Okay, I think I finally understand how you feel when I'm like, okay, you just got to connect this wire and solder this in line with this and connect it to this portion of the switch, but don't do that, and then do this over here, and then when you change that, then connect it to this, and then put it on the track, but don't turn it on yet. And you're just like, Dave, you're gonna have to come do it for me. I know that feel now.
It's
because you lost me the first time you said shaper sheet, and I'm still not back yet.
See, my thing is
shaper. You know what? Let me Google it. Shaper sheet.
If it ever comes down to a hand-holding situation, I'd rather you just do it for me at that point. So that's where I come from, right?
I see.
Okay, see, now it makes sense when you see a visual, right? I'm not making this stuff up. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I've seen it before too. But you know what, Dave? It's funny you say that, because the first time when I made that mountain, I was with my brother, so I had help. I was too nervous to do it myself. I had to have someone with me, kind of like Chris says, hold my hand.
Yeah.
Because it's intimidating, right? It's like the fear of the unknown.
It's just so, like, nothing's really permanent, right? But
no, I know what you mean. It's permanent.
You don't want to like screw it up and have to like rip it out and do it all over again either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huge difference though between like cardboard strips and plaster cloth, or like doing a riser section, because you can't rip out a riser section and then put it back. You know what I mean? Like it's
Speaking of risers, off topic here, but our friend James James G, have you seen his latest update video with the his risers?
Yeah.
Very cool.
That whole section that goes like right around.
Yeah.
I was telling him I wish he documented the how he built that, but very neat.
That's how we were hoping you were going to get a level 2 by doing it like that, but like just keep going up and around the room.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
2022 level 2. M&M. No? All right. I'm sure if we get enough people together.
Yeah.
Start a petition.
I do crack the peer pressure. I do fall under peer pressure, so.
Peer pressure.
We'll just text you once a day, like, do it. Do it. Level 2.
Speaking of your layout, your when you did your live this past month, you ran literally, basically, every single locomotive that you have.
Not literally, no. Almost all of them. 13, I think, was the count.
13 out of
20. Again, I need the app the guy was talking about in the chat, the inventory app.
Yes.
Keep track of all those locomotives I have. My privileged life, my privileged.
I'll download the app, you know what, and be like, okay, download. Done. All my locos are in. That's how long it would take me.
I do have a Google sheet, like a spreadsheet, but it's not updated.
Is that like a shaper sheet?
It's a shaker sheet. You shake it. Shaker sheet. But yeah, I thought about it. I didn't think about it at the time, but I thought about it today. Because I was running trains before the show. And I thought, wait a second, I ran 13 locomotives successfully with and they didn't stop. There's no like chugging or like power outages. What's that called when they
a short?
Yeah, there's no shorts.
Yeah.
13 of them are running perfectly. Sometimes I run 2 trains and they're shorts. So I think it's the dreaded LRCs. I think the lights in them or something because I think they cause a short. That's gotta be it.
They do suck up a good amount of power because of the lights. That's why I try to run them without lights on.
Yeah.
To reallocate that power.
Yeah.
But I mean, even for what you have, it shouldn't take up too much of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what, 3 amp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty.
Well, yeah, 13. I just wish if I had more hands, I probably would have tried more because I want to do more than 13. But again, just without having them speed matched, it was kind of tough to space them out.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like all your F40s would have ran together because.
Yeah, they did. That was a good pace. Because they're again same manufacturer, so they're pretty good. But also, like I was saying in the live show, the incline slowed them, and then of course, the decline they sped up, so it kind of threw everything off kilter.
Well, was there any other concerns with it? Like, I think the max that you're technically supposed to run with that 3 amp is probably like 10 to 12 at one time.
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing is if they all just start up at different times, and you get them going, you can kind of. I don't know. I had the MR, the Prodigy Express, because when I first started, what amp is that? I think that was like a 1.5, 1.6, and my buddy had it, and he used to make videos of like. He had tons of locomotives. Like he probably had like 30 locos, and he'd like start a bunch of them up, and it would be fine. But I think as long as you do like one at a time, there's not a big draw on the system. I don't know.
Guys in the chat are saying it's 10 locomotives, but I'm sure I read that it was like way higher than that. I must have read something else. Anyway, there's no need to run, more than 3.
Yeah.
Unless you have a huge layout. If you have a huge layout, then that 3 amp is not going to.
I think too, anyway. Like I'm wondering, like a lot of the newer decoders and stuff are probably much more power friendly and like take less juice than some of the old ones.
Yeah, that's true too. Anyway, I'm just glad nothing like exploded or got overheated. A little worried about that.
We were all like, fingers crossed, please don't let anything bad happen. Because
But on the other hand, you were like, please let something happen because it's gonna be a good show.
Super entertaining.
Yeah.
But the layout's looking good though, because you got your houses built and whatnot.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's looking
so
really
I'm the same boat as Dave. I do my thinking when I walk my dog, and I'm always thinking. I see it in my head how it's going to look, the little community, and I have ideas of what I'm going to use material-wise, and then I get to the trainer and I'm like, no, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it later. So I have ideas how I'm going to do it because I want to raise the houses a bit and add curbs and grass and blah, 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 but it's overwhelming for me because, again, I just don't really know how to do it 100%.
Yeah.
A lot of people will they'll take a flat piece of wood, put a piece of track on it, kind of like when it comes to like ballasting, right?
Yeah.
You take a scrap piece, and then you just try out maybe a foot long section, and if that works, great. If not, try something else, right? It's only a foot.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've never been the testing kind of guy.
That's too much work.
You just do it.
Would you say it was full steam ahead? No, too soon?
I'm out.
Get out.
Too soon?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Have a good night.
You get out. This is our show now.
Sorry. I would like to publicly apologize for my lame jokes.
All right. It's fine. Let's get back on track.
God.
I'm fed up. No. So actually next month, because we're on the topic of talking about our individual like Third Rail Thursdays. Woo. Third Rail Thursdays next month. So normally we do, obviously, every Thursday, 8 o'clock. Normally Dave does the first week, but he has to get his nails done. So I'm going to be taking over June 3rd. And then he's going to take my week, which is the second week. So he'll be there on the 10th. Mark is going to be Mark, and he's going to be the third week still, the 17th.
Father's Day special.
Father's Day special.
Who's your
and
daddy?
Then, yeah. The Who's Your Daddy edition of third.
And I'll make sure my nails are done too.
Nice. And then we'll be back here on the 24th for another GVO After Dark. Of course. This month I did a Third Rail Thursday. Duh. And I worked on my lumber mill, which is coming along nicely, I guess. And
I say so.
I ordered some stuff, which I'm probably going to do this next week. It'll be next Thursday, and it's dirt for roadside, and I might pull out the static grass applicator to do some of the area around the corner there. I don't always use it, but I'm gonna try to finalize some of that with some dirt. And I'm waiting on these darn utility poles from Woodland Scenics. Between that and the substation, because I do want to get a substation for that industry. I think it would look really neat right out the side there. Yeah, and then I'll do that whenever that comes in, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'll definitely document that. Also, every Sunday, or at least the past several Sundays, I've been doing the Sunday brunch kit builds, and I've been working on my steel mill. I'm actually going to start a new kit this coming Sunday, so you can tune in. It's Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. I always have guests, and they're always building something, or we're talking about the hobby. And you're all welcome to join.
So what's the kit you're going to build? Or is that a surprise?
The truth is I don't know. I've got a bunch. And also, like, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I've got 3 kits on the way, and they're in the mail. Well, 2 of them are in the mail, and I have to go pick up another one. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
You have more kits coming?
Yes.
Holy cow.
I've got my Sunday kit brunch build booked for the next year and a half at this point. So
you might have
lots
a
of
problem.
Sunday. What?
You might have a problem.
I love building kits. It's fun. Send help.
Chris alone is supporting Walthers.
Honestly, it was put my kids through college or buy Walthers kits. So, yeah. Kids just have to wait for me to kick the bucket. Then they can sell my Walthers kits. Bubs already knows what they are because it's like I often talk to him about the kits that I'm looking for, and for some reason he always knows where to find them. He himself is a resource, and he's like an Amazon as well. So, I'll message him and be like, Amazon, I'm trying to find this. And then he'll be like, boom, this is where you find it. I'm like, crazy. So shout out to Bubs031.
In Canada, though? Did you find it in Canada?
2 of them are in Canada, and 1 is being imported by, USA. Okay. So,
wow.
Yeah. Don't give it all away, but yes, they are Walthers kits. Yeah. That's part of the fun. But yeah. So if you guys, let's do the Q&A. So if anybody has questions for Dave or Mark.
Ow.
Sorry. Or myself. You can post them in the chat, and obviously keep it railroad related, and we'll do our best to answer any and all questions pertaining to such. But while we chat about that, coming up next month, obviously, like we said, I'll do the first week, and Dave's doing the second week, and then Mark is doing week 3.
Father's Day special.
Father's Day. So you're claiming it's going to be a Father's Day special.
Yeah, assuming that I'm going to get Father's Day gifts. So even if I get, a tie and belt, that's what the show is going to be about. I'm going to show my new tie and new belt. Although I haven't worn pants like in the last 6 months because of lockdown. Awesome. The neighbors do not appreciate that, but
Mark, just don't get up right now. Whatever you do, stay
As if the lockdown wasn't hard enough.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
And a tie. Gosh, I haven't worn a tie and a collared shirt since 2020. Yeah,
I can't even remember the last time I wore a tie. I have a couple, but not really a tie guy.
Sorry, that wasn't funny. I don't know why I found that amusing.
It rhymes. That's why it's funny.
I guess. James is asking if I finished my blast furnace. Unfortunately, no, because I need paint. I need masking tape. I need 50 other things, and I can't even go to the store to buy it. So, unfortunately, until at least what would you guys say, the 14th or 15th of this month? Do you think Home Depot would be open by then?
Yeah, it should be.
I thought everything was opening next week. I don't know.
Mid-June, I hope.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch the news. I don't read the news. Nothing.
Millennials, eh? Freaking millennials.
Well, I mean, it's always bad news. Every time the news is on, so-and-so was murdered, and, you don't need that in your life, But, once everything reopens, then it's okay, go get lumber, go get paint,
all the supplies. I ended up finding some cork sheets above my layout, but I'm like, oh, I wish I had one more. but I can't, and I don't want to like order online. I guess I could.
Well, can't you curbside pickup?
Yeah, but
God, millennials! Holy mackerel! Jeez.
Well,
Curbside pickup. Oh, that's too much
he'll go
work.
curbside.
did I have to talk to people?
No, you don't.
I mean, I do like online ordering, but no, my wife usually does stuff about like the groceries and everything, and I've been pretty spendy with the car parts, so I don't want to, if I can focus a hobby, it's fine. I can be like, oh, car need parts, oh, the four-wheeler, oh, it's making this funny noise, I need to buy parts. Oh, the trains, yeah. But when I like double dip, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. She's like, well, did you just buy stuff? I was like, no.
There's cork sheets for the car.
Does she have it where her phone dings when you buy something?
No.
Oh,
no.
Good.
Things just show up at her door, and she's like, again? What is it this time? I bought her no joke. I bought her a rip-off Snuggie the other day just to switch it up. It was a good move. It was a good move because it came in and she was like, another one, and then I opened the box. I was like, it's actually for you, and now she's all happy. So actually, maybe that bought me some bonus points. Maybe I'll go get some cork.
Yeah, great for summer. Good timing, Dave. Great. Snuggies are great for the heat. Yeah, perfect. Perfect gift.
I keep.
It's like outside. What would be good for my wife? I know, a really, really warm sweater.
She loves it though. I keep the air conditioning really pumped, so that's the strat. All right. You create your own problems and your own solutions.
So Ontario Railfan Productions is asking if anyone is going to beg Rapido for more steam locomotives.
Not me.
Not I.
I'm still waiting for the
locomotive.
Still waiting for the D10. Depends. I don't know. And they're supposed to have a CN steam coming out, but no one knows when that's going to be.
I'm more of I'll spend $150 on a steam locomotive, rather than $600 on a steam locomotive.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge steam fan, as you know, but it's so delicate too. So delicate. Someone at the train club had a steam engine, and I was afraid to sneeze because I thought, if I break that thing.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with mine, right? Like I bought one, and it started shorting out.
Yeah.
And it turned out the wheel wipers had bent in, but I didn't know that, so I started taking it apart. And because you're like, oh, I've taken how many diesels apart, but I've never taken a steam engine apart, and then it got hairy bad. It got fat. It went downhill real fast, so I had to buy a second one.
Yeah.
And and now it runs great, and I don't touch it, and it's fine.
I really do remember those text messages. I could feel the stress in text.
Well, Chris was coming over the day after. The day after. The next day. Mark, he got me all flustered. and I was trying to get the layout perfect, and I had everything. I was cleaning up, and the steam loco just wouldn't. I would stop, and then it wouldn't start again, and then I'd tap it, and it would go, and it was doing that, and I thought, that's not a huge deal. I'll look into it, and then it just stopped moving, and it wouldn't go in any direction, and I was like, oh my god! But the sound would work, and I was like, oh no! What's going on? Is the decoder dead? Yeah, that was a bad time. I was stressed. I took that really, really tough.
So it was going choo-choo without the chugga-chugga, right? Basically, is that what we can expect from that one?
Is there a way to kick him out of the?
Yeah, can we kick you out of your own call?
No.
Rats.
Yeah, well, that happens. Actually, Heath was asking if we could start over because I think Dave put him to sleep. So he fell asleep. So he wants to know if we can start over. I mean, we're already an hour in. So, I mean, what's
Yeah, what's the big deal? Let's do it.
Yeah. So today in news. No.
Welcome to Third Rail Thursdays, GVO After Dark. Special guest.
Daddy.
What? Good night.
Hello. What's your guys' name?
I'm M&M Rails.
Hey, where else?
Call me Mark.
My name is Riker.
His name is Riker, and his name is Lunchbox.
Excuse me, I'm your lunchbox.
What? You stole my lunchbox? You're the one that stole my lunchbox? I want my lunchbox back. I want my Minecraft lunchbox back and all the food that was in it.
And your other one is a lunchbox too.
I guess
Okay,
we're
you're going
both
to bed, right?
lunchboxes.
Good night. Well, careful.
Hey.
That is not the worst thing I've
Good
been
night.
called.
I landed.
All right, Showboat.
Hey. Night, Dad. Love you.
Love you too.
I love when your son dabs.
You love when my son dabs. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're the only one.
No, but seriously, my lunchbox. I need that thing back.
You'll have to fight Chris for it after school. I'll be the referee.
If I see it on eBay,
I'm telling you, they are bulls in a china shop. They like knocked my camera. They pulled children.
Well, I mean, they get it from
Not
somewhere.
alone.
I remember when you came over. Almost had to bolt everything down.
I did that around his like living room. I was just like, it's not my fault if it falls.
Yeah. Get out of my way! It's not my fault if I hit you.
hey Chris, do you have any kits on your layout that are completely finished? Just curious.
Yes, my train station.
Okay, you're completely done it. You're finished.
I
We'll
mean,
touch it again?
I didn't put the glass in the windows, but I don't really
here
care
we
because
go.
I don't think
Yeah.
you can tell.
That's fine. No.
I can tell from here.
No, you can't. Don't lie.
Wow.
And it's not plugged in, but yeah, it lights up and everything too, so that's great.
Okay, so I was just curious.
Yep. Yes, I do finish my kits eventually. Some of them. And technically, the lumber mill kits are complete-ish, except for like the weathering, which
Yeah.
you kind of you don't need to do that right away. You can do that at any time. That's like an after my main line's done kind of job. So
Yeah. Prioritize.
Yeah.
let's see. Oh, my wife is in the chat. Our spawn was just down here trying to be all cool on camera. So, but they're upstairs going to bed now. So
15 minutes of fame.
yeah. And Roy is with us, and Tyler joined, and Split Rock.
Bub says the engine facility is finished, but that doesn't count because I'm pretty sure he built it for you.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
John says he needs the Rapido to make a turbo in HO, and I could not agree with you more. And actually, that brings us to a very good note because every single year, Rapido does their picnic. It's a picnic at the end of June, and that usually means that they announce a whack new products. Basically, I think it's usually at least 2 or 3. There'll be one N scale and then a couple of HOs. But that's this month. That's coming up. Well, next month. It's basically June. So, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that turbo at some point. That'd be nice.
I just noticed we're like the 3 evolutions of beards over here.
Full depression.
This is wisdom right here.
Wisdom. And then like
I'm trying
preteen
my
Dave.
best.
My son has more facial hair than you.
If I think really hard, maybe it'll grow faster.
Chia. Sorry, Dave.
It's all good. I just think you guys are hilarious.
I do what I can.
You know, earlier we were talking about selling trains and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I was packing out my old stuff, I was thinking I will never sell another train thing unless I need the money, but I will never sell another train thing. I'll just put it in storage and keep it because they are collector's items, and everything I've sold train related wise, like either cars or locomotives, I've regretted.
Yes.
Because they're so hard to come by now, and like they're collector's items, you know?
Even when I got out of it, you know, at first I was like, oh, it's fine. But, you know, obviously I came back and the whole time I was like, I wish I would have kept at least my locomotive and like the rolling stock and the kits, the track, whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And the switches, you know, but I 100% agree. I like looking back, I'm great. Like it's great. I have what I want. I'm happy with what I've got now, but you know, it was expensive. It's expensive now to, especially starting from scratch, or even just, you sell something and like even I think the Bachmann RS3 I had, like that's expensive now. I got that for dead cheap. It had DCC sound. It was, you know, cheap, inexpensive. Like it wasn't that much. It was like $100 and some bucks, or like maybe just $200. And now it's like 300 and some, because, you know, it's like a limited run now, right? Because they don't manufacture everything, and it's like, oh man, like.
Is there anything that never leaves your layout, Mark? Something that you can't bring it, you know, yourself to put it back in the box?
Like locomotive wise, or just
whatever.
Freights. Trying to think. Not right. The Steam has been on my layout since I've got it. It's a fan favorite. To be honest, I keep it out for the fans of the live show. They always request it. And plus, it didn't come with a real box, so it doesn't have a home. But I don't really have a favorite locomotive. I don't think. That's a good question.
Because I know you always have your tankers.
Oh yeah, I
love your tankers.
Yeah. I do love my tankers. Yeah. Also, they kind of go with the industry that I'm doing.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, I do love tankers. Yeah.
I tend to switch all mine out every so often. I'll move some to the display case, and then I'll, you know, change some out. I'll pull a couple out. I try to run, you know, them here and there just to make sure that they don't seize up or anything. But most of the time, if I get a new one, like the M420 has been on since January. It hasn't left the layout. But ones like my GP40s and my GP38, I tend to switch those out. In my SD40s, I always switch out those as well. So, but I think after I started getting back into HO, I tried to recollect all the stuff that I had once upon a time. So it's difficult, but I managed to get a lot of it back. I don't know what you guys are laughing at. I don't know if you're laughing at me or
sure.
Are you guys texting each other again?
No, but that would explain a lot.
Oh. Oh, Dave. I'm
fine.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
You good?
the guys talk about cabooses. Someone always teases me about no cabooses on the layout. I think it's Robin.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Still
don't
no
have any
caboose.
either. Well, I've got that Rapido one on order though.
Oh yeah?
Well, yeah, the one that was supposed to come out in what, December? Or is it this December? I forget.
Okay.
It says third quarter, I believe. So
Oh. Yeah, I think it was December 2020 originally. But
I'm
I'm hoping
trying to
it,
find a Santa Fe one for Mark, but I'm having no luck.
did they wouldn't have run though, because maybe the original Santa Fe. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It wouldn't look as cool, but it would say Santa Fe, and I don't know. Mark doesn't seem too picky.
I am not.
I mean, he runs Steam, so.
That's right.
I'm just gonna have the one, and the rule, just like my last layout, is anytime you have a consist of locomotives, you have to run the caboose. Anything else, one locomotive, don't need it because it's a day trip. But maybe with two locomotives, you need somewhere for one of the crews to rest.
The train does not look complete unless there's a caboose on the end. I don't know. It bothers me if there's no caboose.
It depends. I kind of like the look of, like, I don't know. I'm going with like the privatized railroad kind of idea with mine, where it's just 2, 3, 4 cars max.
Yeah.
And that looks right.
Huh. Anyway, nothing against them. I just again, I'm trying to run a modern layout. That's my excuse. But again, if someone were to gift me a caboose, I'll put on the layout. I'll give it a run. Just not really in the neighborhood of buying one. It's not on the radar.
CN caboose. I mean, it would have to be either CN or Santa Fe, right? Like at this point.
Yeah, because if it was CP, I would just I don't know.
You'd put it on the layout. It would just flames.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Tyco Via Rail caboose?
Maybe.
I had one, and it was like super old. Like, yeah, it looked like a regular caboose.
And where is it now?
I don't know.
See, you got rid of it. That's what I'm saying. Don't get rid of your stuff.
That was before my N scale stint that I had.
Oh yeah.
Oh, N scale, huh?
So
who would dare go to N scale?
Yeah.
We've established two things: don't sell your stuff, and don't go to N scale. Thanks, James. James is gonna get me a caboose.
Rail Artist Models 1971. The caboose is still in use. That's very specific.
Yeah.
Of all the years to model, 1971.
Which is funny because I do 1972 to 2021. That's what I model. See Split Rock's question there?
Split Rock. Do you have a caboose track in your yards? So do you have a specific track that's dedicated to your booses?
Yes, technically I do.
Really?
Yep. It's the end of the ladder where you come up and then you have to back into the engine sheds. There's a spot. I usually keep just a car there at the end. There's actually room for 2 40-foot cars, and still be able to back in. But yeah, that's where I plan to put it.
So when you were designing your layout, you thought, this is where my cabooses are going to go. Be honest.
So actually I did, but I didn't go through with my original design.
Okay.
I actually did. I had it was going to be a repair and place track that doubled as a caboose storage.
Okay. Wow.
But I didn't go through with the design.
Okay. Huh.
Because I liked having it on my old layout. I liked having the caboose.
I also have one, and it's more or less just going to be. It's the track that I was going to get Dave to make a programming track, so it's long enough that you can pull a full-size locomotive in. But you could also, if you really wanted to, you can fit about 5 cabooses or booses in there, and or like just make it a mow track where you have like a couple of cabooses, maybe the crane, maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I run like early 70s to late 70s. I guess I just run 1970s on my layout. So
yeah, Justin has one of my cabooses. I'm sure that there's like a couple of people in the chat that have undoubtedly bought one of my pieces of stock at some point or another.
Yeah, I think I have one of your ONR cabooses as well.
I've had so many, and then with the fact that ONR is redoing them, like I have one right now, but out of the 6, I'm going to be end up probably buying 5. So if anybody needs a caboose, hit me up in a couple of years when I go back to N scale or E scale, because I like to stir the pot a little bit here. So who knows? What I do want, because of the things that I did sell that I do want back, if I could ever find it, is one of my videos. I custom painted the MP40 from True Line Trains into a Go Transit. It was like a Rail Star or whatever it's called. And then I turned it into the newest Go Train paint scheme. I did a garbage job because it was like one of my first paint jobs. But to have the True Line Trains MP40 again would be a treasure. But yeah, that's what I miss. You're what? Oh, because my wife is watching, I'm not buying anything. I didn't buy anything. Now, pre-ordering, I did pre-order, but I didn't buy anything. So
what you do is you send the stuff to my place. How will the stuff shipped to my place?
Yeah,
just come pick it up after work.
Like these guys with the PO boxes.
Yeah,
the secret PO box. So, Dave, what is the plan for the caboose in Renfrew?
Yeah, I have no idea. You take me in that article,
right?
Yeah, I read some of it, and I'm like, they've been talking about it, getting rid of it off and on. It used to be a tourist booth. I've actually been in it when it was still a tourist booth, and it was cool. I thought it was really neat. But I don't know. As mentioned earlier, I'm a millennial. Am I a millennial? I'm 29 years old. I was born in 91. I don't know.
Probably.
So I don't read the news.
Zero context to that. So give more context, man. More context.
About what?
What caboose?
Oh, there's a caboose on display as you enter in the main exit in Renfrew, and it's by the park and ride / key, like the kind of tourist kiosk. Not that there's really anything. Well, there's a swinging bridge in Renfrew. That's about it to see. I don't know really what else anybody.
There's a Tim Hortons there too, isn't there? You have Tim Hortons.
We have 2 actually.
Ooh,
yeah.
Wow!
One at each
and
end.
one
of the
horse
town.
as well. It's a one-horse town.
But yeah, I don't watch or read the news, so honestly, I don't know.
I keep meaning to take some video of that caboose because we often drive to Renfrew for the Tim Hortons, of course, and I always think, oh, I should do a video about that caboose, but I'm just not sure.
And you don't stop and say hello? You even know where I live?
I
see how.
Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
Well, the caboose itself, from what I read, is falling apart, and no one wants to take ownership because of the fact that it was a tourist. What did you call it? A information booth?
It used to be a tourist kiosk, and then they built a specific building for it.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think one of us got to invest and put it in the backyard.
You know, my dad always said that when I was growing up, but he was serious about it. Well, at least, I thought he was serious about it, and it never happened. And I was constantly crushed.
One day that'll be yours, son.
Yeah, that'll be your bedroom. We'll build it into the house. And I believed him because I was a fool.
And while you're sleeping,
no, not getting a treehouse. We're getting a caboose.
push you down the tracks. That'd be neat, though. Yeah, you definitely have to have the property to do that. Bub's saying that it might be going to Smiths Falls, but
Yeah, maybe to the museum.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Turn it into an Airbnb. Well, actually, Justin, there's an Ontario Northland, not Airbnb, it's a hotel that's up, I don't know where, North Bay probably. A company, or I guess these people that bought it, and you can basically rent it like a hotel. Kind of like that one down in the States. I don't remember the state where it's a hotel, but it's all cabooses, and your hotel room is the caboose. So that's kind of neat. But
We should
yeah,
road
there's
trip up there.
should
The three
should.
of us.
Well, there is a hot tub, so
I'm in.
you're the only one. But that would be neat to own. I mean, what were they selling it for? I think they were saying that they could probably sell it for like $3 or $4 grand.
It's just
And
the
then-
transportation, right?
Oh, that's just the transfer. Oh, right.
No.
Right.
To buy it is probably not expensive because they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's getting it where you want it to go, which is probably gonna.
Yeah, how do you transport that? Because years ago, Harrison actually texted me and said, "Hey, Mark, do you want to go in on this?" It was like a passenger car or something from Quebec, and only $500. And I was like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "I am dead serious." I was like, "Okay, well, yeah, it's not that expensive, but what are we gonna do with it? Throw it in the trunk?
Yeah.
Tow it
Yeah.
behind our car?
Yeah.
It'd be cool
Well,
to have like a fort, whatever, like I don't know."
Well, Justin emailed me one time when Go Transit was getting rid of a whole bunch of their buses, and they want like 20 grand a bus. I'm like, that's like, a cheaper car right there, right? But it's a
Yeah.
full bus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you could like, take the seats out, make like a motorhome kind of thing to it,
Yeah.
which would be kind of neat. You just don't have anywhere to park it, right?
Yeah.
So, but that'd be neat though.
Yeah.
It'd be so neat. Yeah.
Listen to us dreaming.
I know, right? Dreaming out loud.
Imagine having a layout in the caboose. Like, come on.
That would be cool. Too
Mhm.
small though. It'd have to be like a passenger car, and then you have to take out all the walls and have like a really long one.
Yeah.
Could be done though, or like a box car. That'd be cool. Actually, that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like if you have that, then well, I mean, if it's like a rail car, it would have to be permanently placed, right? Like you couldn't say, well, if it's a bus, you make a layout in a bus, and then you could take the layout to a show, right? And then people can come and see the layout bus or whatever. But that would be tough. That'd be a tough one to pull. As if the aisleways already aren't narrow enough, right?
The layout bus or the bus layout? What would we call it? This is important to figure out.
Bus out. No,
The bus out?
too lame. All right. A layout of buses.
The layout on wheels? The mobile layout?
Robin asks, I wonder if you could keep the Go logo, and the answer to that is no. Even when Rapido did buy the passenger car, they had to remove the Via logo, and then they put the Rapido logo, but they kept the all blue with the yellow stripe, and then just put the Rapido logo instead of Via. So, yeah, you have to remove. What are they called? Like other companies' logos, I guess, due to whatever. Yeah, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But Yeah, it looks like everybody's vote is for the party bus, but the party go bus. 3-level layout in a boxcar.
Yeah, that would be sick. You could totally do that. Like the boxcar would be big enough. You block off one of the doors. That would be your best bet, realistically.
If it was going to happen, it would have to be the boxcar for sure.
Yeah.
And no AC to get that authentic sweat. You know, the smell, the authentic smell of the boxcar.
But hopefully, it's not like an old meat reefer or something. That'd be terrible. Well, with that being said, again, next week we'll be back here. I've got the Third Rail Thursday, and then Dave will be taking the second week, and then Mark is taking the third week still.
Father's Day special.
Father's Day special. Dave, are you doing a Father's Day special thing as well for your live? No?
I mean, I guess I could have my cats come say, hey, what up? But that's about it.
Catterday special?
Sure. Something like that. They'll knock over all the trains and leave hair on my track and bat all my locomotives off the edge. To be fair, that would be pretty entertaining.
It's like what, Mark?
Just like your kids do.
Oh.
Leave hair everywhere, knock things over.
Bulls in China shop. All right, well, that was GVO After Dark. I want to thank you guys again for coming and hanging out. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. And we will see you next month.
Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Bye.